We saw a movie.
Movie night.
Yeah, it was a movie night. We went out, we got dressed up. We went to the ArcLight.
ArcLight in Hollywood.
That's actually my first time there.
Broke your
I know.
ArcLight Hollywood cherry.
All right.
But we didn't go see it in the Dome. That's a lot. We saw Bombshell.
Which we both were dying to see.
Honestly, since the second that trailer dropped, I was so excited for that movie to come out, and it was too long of a wait.
We were not disappointed, let's just say that.
First of all, I want to say that there are probably going to be spoilers in this episode.
Yeah.
So just fair warning, if you didn't see it and you still want to listen, just fair warning, we might say some things that might spoil some things about the movie for you. But if you have seen it, please join us. I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay.
You're so kind. Good morning. So very
I think
kind.
it's totally necessary because I've seen people bring things up in like Facebook posts and Instagram posts, and then they'll get comments like people yelling at them saying "spoiler alert?" ?
You know what's so weird? I do not care about spoilers at all. Like, it does not bother me because I'm still gonna watch it and enjoy it either way.
It was funny. I really had. Okay, this is embarrassing to admit. Actually, I was binge watching Game of Thrones. When was it? I started it like right when they started airing the last season. And so I think I left off at the 6th season. And I still haven't finished it. But binge watching that show, even though it's amazing and all the things, it's exhausting. And like, it's so much darkness and emotional exhaustion.
Yeah.
That I couldn't continue, even though it like was getting really good and I wanted to see how it was going to end. I still haven't finished it. And so I can't believe that I haven't like really let the spoilers penetrate my brain yet, even though I think I've heard a lot, but I just haven't computed, like I haven't put it together with the plot points.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. That's a lot of darkness.
To binge watch?
Yeah.
It's because I was sick for a while earlier in the year.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was just, that's all I was able to do.
I binge watched 13 Reasons Why.
That's another one, isn't it? Isn't that a dark one?
I was like, I need someone to turn a light on in this show. Like, I was like, it's too dark. Can someone turn a light on in here? And then, like, I wanted to start the second season, like, right after. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm like emotionally, like, depressed right now. I gotta watch something
around
funny.
for a light switch.
Yeah, I just need a light switch somewhere. But you ever watch shows like that and you're like, can someone turn a light on?
I usually love that kind of gritty, dark
I do
stuff,
love
but
it, but
like, when you binge it, it, like, takes a toll on your soul.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I needed a moment to, like, get back together. I think I put on the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, well, that's just, it's like chicken soup
It was like,
for our
it was
souls.
like Whiplash. I was like, 13 Reasons Why for Great British Baking Show.
Cut to the, did I just say cuck? Great,
Amazing.
very good. Cut to, like, sheeps in a field.
Yes, that's what I need in my life. Sheeps in a field.
Ducks in the lake.
Yes.
And,
yes.
like, making bread.
I love it.
It fixes
I
everything.
want to make bread. I want to learn. I mean, I should know how, actually, because my grandma made bread, but
It's challenging to make
It
bread,
is.
I hear. I have a bunch of friends that are on that kick right now.
it's a process. It's like a day-long process.
I love watching the Instagram stories on the bread making. Jenna Fisher from The Office has, I guess, a love for bread making, and she does her stories
I think you
on
showed
Instagram.
me one of her
They're
stories.
so cute. I love
She's an adorable
it.
human.
Oh my God, read her book, and she's amazing.
You lent it to me. I still have it.
You need to read it.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I started it, and then
You're like,
it
I
didn't-
regret bringing it up.
I know. I was like, no, I didn't do a good job. I shouldn't have said anything.
I'm honestly one to talk because so many people lend me books, and I am so behind.
I'm the queen of, like, starting them and then stopping and never picking them back up. And then so if I wanted to read it, then I have to start from the beginning again.
We need to incorporate more boredom exercises so we force ourselves to read more.
Honestly. Back to the subject at hand.
Back to the movie. Movie night. Do you want to give us a synopsis of the film?
Oh, geez. That's like a big ask.
As I crack my wine.
Amazing.
Everybody, in case you were curious.
Amazing. So it's about Fox News, which I actually don't watch. So I didn't know. I actually went in probably more blind than you did. Like, I knew what the subject matter was about, but like I don't follow, like I don't watch Fox. So the characters I had to learn about as I was watching it.
Right.
So that was
I don't
kinda
watch
cool.
Fox either, but I did kind of know a little bit about what happened a little bit.
Yeah. I knew what the movie was about going in, like a little bit, but I didn't, it's not like I knew about the situation prior, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do because it's a very popular movie, and I'm sure like because it just literally came out a couple days ago.
We saw it it was the night it came out, right? We saw it Friday the 13th?
We saw it Saturday. So yeah, it came out Friday.
Oh, we saw
it Saturday.
Great. Why did I think that was Friday? That's
really where we are in our brains this week. This is
I'm a day behind.
This is the last day
Is
before
today Monday?
Winter break. We need winter break. Everyone needs to go on winter break. That's what we've deduced today.
So ready.
But Bombshell is about the sexual misconduct allegations against Roger Ailes, who is the media titan that ran Fox News.
Yep.
Jay Roach directed it. Charles Randolph wrote it. Charlize Theron played McKinnon Kelly. Nicole Kidman played Gretchen Carlson. And Margot Robbie played a character named Kayla Pospisil.
Yeah, I think that's how you say her last name.
Who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is an amalgam of multiple women that raised allegations against him. Yes. What'd you think?
First of all, I had so many emotions throughout the film. I'll bring up first that I love that because it was pretty dark subject matter, obviously. The whole film could have easily been super like depressing, but it wasn't. And I really appreciated that aspect of it.
So entertaining. Yeah,
it was really entertaining. There were bits of comedy in it as well, which I really appreciated. And I think personally, to make a good film, I feel like you need both, if I'm being honest. So I really appreciated that. And there were scenes that were like absolutely gut-wrenching and like almost brought me to tears. You did cry.
I was sobbing uncontrollably.
You did. I was like about to, and then I like pulled myself together because I don't know, it's just me. But when we'll just cut to one of the scenes that I think in particular like really got us is when Margot Robbie's character is on the phone talking to, her name in the film is Susan Estridge. Is that how you pronounce that? Or no, I'm sorry, Jess Carr. Kate McKinnon's character.
Oh yeah, Kate McKinnon, who was so charming and lovely.
Yeah.
Spectacular, honestly.
Yeah, she's talking to her because they, were working together.
Co-workers.
And she's telling her about what happened between her and Roger. And it is just, I think every woman can relate to that moment.
100%. I feel like, first of all, Kate McKinnon in that scene was just taking in that information. It was like an acting class on listening. But the connectivity that Margot Robbie had in that moment was so beautiful. And I feel like she took on the massive responsibility that actors have to portray something so important. And she took it on so gracefully. And it was so moving. So important to convey the pain that people that have dealt with this kind of abuse. It's not an easy job.
No, not at all. And if you can remember, like, she was on a date actually with someone and she left the restaurant to call her.
Yeah.
Which is like, obviously it was something that was, I just love like the buildup of that and like the kind of backstory, because it's like she had to tell someone and she wanted to confide in her friend. And that's often what ends up happening. I mean, it's like when anything bad happens to me, I pick up the phone and I call you.
Yeah.
So it was like a very relatable, like, I understood the whole like process and what was going through her mind, and I loved that. And it was just it was like a really heartbreaking moment.
It was a really heartbreaking moment,
Yeah.
and so relatable. Yeah, she got me in the guts on that one. Her acting was really beautiful, which honestly, I need to see that movie again because there were two problems I was having. One, my jaw was dropped because the acting was so fucking good, or I was sobbing. So I'm sure there were things that I missed that I need to just pick back up because I was just like in shock throughout the whole film. I was just loving it.
And there's so many like heavy hitting actors in that film that like when they come on screen,
we're just like
Pam and I are like, whoa, they're in this too? Like, what's happening?
They're in this too, and they're doing some crazy stuff.
Amazing
like
work.
When Allison Janney, who played Susan Estrich, came on screen, we're like, oh my God, we love Allison Janney.
Yeah.
But then
she started to speak.
And we're like, is it Allison Janney?
Yeah.
Her voice work.
It was crazy.
Out of control. I'm a big fan. I've like been obsessed with her since The West Wing.
She's awesome.
And I love everything that she does.
All right, I think both of us. I think I looked over at you at one point and you were just like jaw to the floor. And I was like, she's thinking what I'm thinking.
I was like doing hand motions. I was like not okay.
I never make like audible like noises or like have audible reactions in movie theaters. I'm normally quite like quiet, and I had a couple like moments where I was just like, oh, what? Like,
I remember we both mutually had that same moment when she came on screen. We're like, oh my God, we love her.
Yeah.
What else did you like?
There's so many moments I think we could talk about. But I mentioned this to you as well. I'm sure this was probably a direction. This was probably a director thing. I loved that Nicole Kidman's character, Gretchen Carlson, and Charlize Theron's character, McKinnon Kelly, I love that they both had moments throughout the film where when they were like, well, obviously Nicole Kidman's character had already decided to go to testify. But and in a couple of those moments, she references her daughter. Megyn Kelly has those same moments before she testifies. And I love that, like, they're, like, especially when Megyn Kelly is, like, questioning it, she has that one moment when they're in the car and she looks back at her daughter. And then you, like, see it click in her head. And she decides to, like, no, I have to do this for her,
like, it was the thing that threw it over the edge because it's so difficult to come forward in situations like that. You know, when there's a power dynamic, when you work really, really hard to get to a certain place in your career, these things are not black and white.
Nope.
It's challenging. And also, like, one of the things that that they say in the movie that Charlize Theron's character says is, he was my boss. He helped me, you know, get far in my career. He was my friend. I liked him. But he did this thing. And it just added such a level of just complexity to the situation.
Yeah, there's very much, like, there's a lot of shades of gray when it comes to situations like this.
I saw both sides of it, you know, because Margot Robbie's character confronts her and she said the line that honestly was the part that made me cry the most, which was do you know what your silence is doing to everybody? That
was a powerful moment, yeah.
And I really felt that, and I really agreed with her. But at the same time, I really saw Megyn Kelly's point of view in the film because she is very ambitious and she worked hard and she saw the human side of this character. And it's just really, really hard to come forward. And I think that's it takes a huge amount of courage.
And I think that's the beauty of the writing in this film is that you really get to see everyone's point of view. Like, even Roger, like, that's Roger Ailes, this terrible, that did these terrible things. It's like John Lithgow, who played him, did a really good job of not playing him as this like just the villain, just this like caricature. Villain. He put, like, he was, I mean,
my acting teacher says it all the time. that you gotta, when you play a villain, you gotta try to find the hero in the villain. When you play a hero, you gotta try to find the villain in the hero.
Absolutely. Because there's good and bad in everyone at the end of the day.
Because that's the human condition.
Exactly. And in that, in that interview we watched with him, and he talks about, what he did to prepare for that role. And one of the biggest things that that connected him to that character was talking to one of Roger Ailes' like old business partners.
Yeah, like I think a former associate producer of his.
Yeah, that had all these great stories to tell about him.
Mm-hmm.
That he was a charming guy. He was funny.
They would go out drinking, and he would make him laugh a lot.
Exactly. Like it's not black and white at the end of the day, and the film portrayed that beautifully.
Well, that was my throat. My apologies.
It's like ruining my moment.
I'm so sorry.
Fine. I'm kidding.
I'm so
I actually
sorry.
didn't hear it.
Of course, like in a serious moment.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I think he really did an amazing job at bringing that. But I've always been a huge fan of John Lithgow.
Oh, I mean, yeah. How can you not be?
Incredible.
He's also just like an awesome human. Like watching him in that interview,
Such
he was cracking
epic
me up.
voice.
Oh yeah, his voice is amazing.
He's like got that actor, like really rich, resounding.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the transformation they did on him for that.
Everybody's transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Charlize was unrecognizable.
She was wearing 8 prosthetics on her face, like out of control. I don't even know how I don't know if I could act like that. She's a badass.
I think Megyn Kelly wrote on an Instagram post that she took her family to go see the film, and her son stopped at the poster in the lobby and thought that that was his mom.
That's amazing.
Isn't that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But I don't think she's said much about like what she thought of it. But I also know that a lot of people had to sign NDAs.
Yeah. I think that was a huge part of.
It's really kind of important, this movie, I think. What are you smiling at?
Sorry. I was like thinking and then sorry.
What were you thinking?
No, I was just going over the notes. We're cutting all of this right now, but I just had a moment of like.
No, the scene between John Lithgow and Margot Robbie.
Uncomfortable.
Really uncomfortable. It's like the big kind of pivotal scene where he has her in his office and, let's just put it this way, humiliates her. And is completely inappropriate and frankly disturbing. And he added this, I think you said it really nicely, like this level of like he was embarrassed by what he did after he did it, this level of regret. Yeah,
like after it happened, he like says thank you to her, and there's like a coloring of like embarrassment and him feeling bad in that thank you. And he actually comments on that in that one of the interviews that we watched. And he says it beautifully. He says no one wants to be a victim of a compulsion. John Lithgow says that, and that really like rang a bell in my head because I was like, yeah, you're right. Like no, you know what I'm saying? He's still human. He still he still probably has regrets, and
I'm sure
feels bad. And
well, I can't like speak.
Well,
to,
right,
like,
exactly.
To like what goes on in Roger Ailes' head in that, in those kind of circumstances, but I thought it was a really interesting character choice made by the actor because maybe his character knew what he was doing is wrong.
Maybe not like it was
and
in the
when you look at
forefront
Margot
of his mind,
Robbie
but
like look at her face. A part of me is like, how could you not know how wrong? What
I think maybe a part of him does, like deep down. You know what I'm saying? His subconscious might know, or who knows? We don't know for sure.
Like,
but
and I think that's safe to almost say because he decided to add that, hint of regret.
Mm-hmm.
But that was an incredible scene.
It was, and I like how they, the director talked about also like making everyone feel super safe that day.
Yeah, like how they
on
approached
set,
it.
and yeah, that made me feel really proud and good to be like, you know what I mean?
Safety on set.
Safety on set
Safety
is
with your
huge.
scene partner
Yeah.
is not overrated.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was nice that he added that and, you know, expressed how that went down. That was cool to learn about. Yeah, it was it was very just interesting to watch, and also be in a theater full of people. Like I
Kind
don't
of
know,
there's an energy in
yeah,
the
there was
crowd of
exactly
people taking it in and what their reactions were, and I think everyone was obsessed.
I hope so. Better be.
I'm definitely going to see it again.
Yeah, I think I need to see it a second time because there's like that shock value of seeing it the first time, and then I feel like I need to see it again to like really like take every moment. And plus I left because I had to pee.
Oh, I know. And you left.
I know.
At the I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but there's this. What hooked me on this film was the trailer of Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie in an elevator. And it's like this tense moment where all these women are experiencing the same thing, but they're all like pitted against each other by the system. And so it's like so tense. Alexa totally like missed. I heard there's this app that like if you can look it up beforehand, the best times to go to the bathroom while you're in a movie theater.
Of course.
I need to find the name of this
Of course,
app.
there's that. I was trying to hold it, and then I was like, oh, I can't hold it anymore. And so I went, and I actually stayed down there for a little bit before I actually went to the like restroom. I stayed down there watching like for like a second, and I was like, no, I can't. I have to go.
But then it was good because I just filled you in on what you missed.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't miss. I'm glad I didn't miss. Actually, if that was the part, I'm glad I missed that part because
you saw it.
I've seen it. It's in the trailer, so like that actually kind of was the best part to leave, for me, anyways. Because if I would have missed like one of the other scenes, like between,
like if you missed the scene between John Lithgow and Margot Robbie,
yeah, I would have been livid.
Yeah,
my life would not be complete right now because I needed to do that acting. So yeah, it was actually okay, but. Yeah, it was just really interesting to feel the energy in the room. And I don't know, it made me feel, I'm trying to like pinpoint, I felt the film did not make me, like, even though I had those like sad emotions throughout it, it really made me feel proud as well.
Mm-hmm.
That we're like in this day and age where like these films are being made. And
yes,
we're talking about this. Like, that I felt a lot of that energy too, and there were lots of women in that theater. There were lots of men, and it just I felt like we were all together in that moment, in a weird way. Yeah,
I remember I had a similar feeling when I saw Wonder Woman for the first time. I don't have you've seen it?
No, I don't usually. So I see like superhero movies.
So I saw it in the theater, and I got so emotional, and I was trying to figure out why, and I realized it was because it was my first like time for me personally seeing a female superhero on the screen and like being able to kind of relate on that level.
It's huge.
Because honestly, I freaking love Batman and all that stuff, but there was something about it being a woman.
Yeah. Makes you
was
feel
relatable on a different level.
Yeah, powerful and strong and proud. Like and this was one of those films where like these women were badasses, and it made me feel awesome.
Really brave.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. Like, Nicole Kidman's character, like, lost everything. Like, she
hasn't worked in television ever since.
She really gave up her career to fight this fight, and she's a hero.
I agree. And it's funny because a lot of the commentary I've heard about it had to do with, like, politics, but what I think is like sexual harassment is not a partisan issue.
No.
It's wrong no matter how you slice it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Like this conversation, like regardless of what news outlets you like to watch.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Candidates you like.
And
that's not what we're discussing.
And that's not what the film's about. That's not what the film's about. So
we recommend 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 recommend, yes. It was great.
Anderson and Portnoy rate it 2 thumbs up.
Love that.
We did great.
Pamela, are you okay?
No. That was said with a
Strong
lot of distress. Well, we have to say no, right?
We don't have to. I don't have to do anything.
No one's okay, Alexa. She's like, no one can make me do anything.
No one can make me do anything.
That is true. That is the theme of this episode.
It's true.
This is our last recording before the end of the year.
Are you gonna miss me?
Yes, but I'm gonna miss Jason more. He's cheering.
Wow. All right.
Good riddance. She's leaving me behind and going home.
I'm going home.
That's gonna be sad. But no, I'm really needing a break. There's something about the end of the year that people are just throwing goo on each other.
Goo?
So everyone is out of control lately. I don't know what is in the air. Everyone needs to calm down.
Pamela almost ran a red light coming here. Let me just tell you. She's a criminal.
Alexa pulled her like very robotic, very calm.
I don't know what that is.
The light is red. The light
is red.
I was on a different planet. I don't know what was
happens
happening.
whenever I get like some like that is my go-to, like it's very like robotic that comes out of me. I don't know what that is.
Like when someone opened a door.
When something
in front
bad's
of the car,
about to happen, I like turn into a robot.
Door.
The light is red. Like what? I don't know what that. Like I'm the GPS system. I don't know. It's very odd.
I appreciate it.
I helped.
You saved lives.
I saved lives. Saving lives.
It's sort of like Alexa's gone. Your robot brain took over.
Yeah,
to
it's like
handle the situation.
Yeah, weird.
If like there was like a real emergency, I feel like you would go full robot, even in movement.
Probably.
Must evacuate.
Such a weirdo.
Well, I appreciate you like informing me.
Thank you.
Could have been bad. Even though that is not a great place for a red light.
No,
or for
it's
a
not.
light period. It's a very
and that's
quiet...
why I kind of knew like it's kind of like it doesn't really make sense for a light to be there.
Very misplaced.
Yeah, and so I knew that like I gave you a minute, like a little second.
Thank you.
I was like, I think she might be stopping.
No,
she's not stopping.
We're going on way too long on the light, but no, it's fine.
Pam's not okay. She needs a break. Just
I'm not
to recap.
okay because everyone's like dramas and not okayness is rubbing off on me, and I'm starting to get a little twitchy about it.
She's twitchy.
We all need our winter breaks.
Yeah, we really do.
Alexa, are you okay?
Not really.
Why?
Well, I've just been, I mean, and you know this, but I've been overextending myself lately.
So
I'm
much
exhausted.
extension.
There's been a lot of extending. I haven't, like the past 2 weeks, I just haven't really had a like day off because even on my days off, I've been doing lots of stuff.
Being a
and
badass. Biatch.
Well, trying. And then also just making commitments with people. And I even like bailed last minute this week on some plans because I was like, my body was just like, no.
But sometimes you need to do that to kind of like recalibrate.
Yeah. I always feel really bad when I do that though. And I like run it by like 5,000 people. Like I think I called you and I talked to like Shane. And I was like, is that okay? I bailed last minute and I feel awful. Like, and he's like, you're fine.
You got to take care of number one.
Yeah.
Like you would never like legitimately try to keep someone hanging. And so if you cancel and say I'm not feeling good, like
it rarely happens, but like sometimes you got to do it, you know?
You have to because then like you just got over being sick. If you get sick again, like
yeah. And
your
also
trip home's gonna suck.
I'm not getting the best sleep. This is really the main issue.
That's true.
I'm like an actual like shit show apparently, and I can't sleep because living by myself is wonderful and I love it. But like when it comes to like nighttime and and noises in my apartment and I hear like everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And I'm like, is there someone in my apartment? Like it's like I'm totally insane. So, and it keeps me up.
I get like that sometimes. I feel for you.
I'm getting like better. Getting better at it. But I used to go to bed so early. Like I was that person. I'd be like, I'm going to be in bed at like 9:30, like 10 o'clock.
I wish I could be that person.
But now I'm not because I literally like, I think I'm like staying up to the point where I'm like so dead tired so that like I can fall asleep, you know? Because I know that like if I lay in bed, like if I go to bed at 9:30, I'm not like totally tired yet. I'm going to lay there for hours hearing millions of noises.
Yes.
You know? So that's going well for me. So I'm sleep deprived.
I'm sleep deprived too, but like it's bad because I'll go to the extreme of like I'll try to get in bed maybe by midnight ideally, like, I'd be sleeping by then, but I just fuck around on my phone, and then I like try to fall asleep, and I've got like blue light high going, and it just is not happening.
You know what's really weird? If I actually look at my phone, it will make me sleepy.
Really?
Yeah, like I will look at my phone to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Like it's almost like reading a book for me. I'm like, okay.
Reading a book will always get me to fall asleep.
It's interesting. My mom, like whenever I couldn't sleep when I was like younger, my mom would be like, read a book, you'll go to sleep. That was her remedy.
That's really funny.
She's like, go read a book, you'll fall asleep.
And the new thing is I've been turning on my heater because it's been a little chillier. And my heater, I'm so thankful. It works like so well that it heats up.
I'm so happy for you. Your heat works great. I live in a tundra.
To warm your buns, you got to stand right next to it.
It's awful. And I can't keep it on because it's like an actual like fire. It's like a campfire in my living room, basically.
That's true. But mine heats up my apartment so quickly. And I'm thankful. I'm not complaining. But if I turn it on for like more than half an hour, it like becomes womb-like. And I just will fall asleep where I stand.
That sounds great. I need that. I need that. Need that in my life.
So we're doing great.
We're doing great.
No one's okay.
No one's.
Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at No One's Okay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios.
We can't wait to meet you! For our little intro stories section. Do you want to do that?
We saw a movie.
Oh my god. No, this is going to be a failure just from the get-go.
What do you want from me?
No, let's do it.
Okay.
Movie night.
Is that how we're doing it?
No. You kick it off.
Are we even ready? What's happening right now?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Oh. Jason's just like, is this the episode?
He's like, I have been recording you.
He's like,
this is a new type of episode.
This is a new type of episode called
All
Shit
right.
Show Incorporated.
All right. Okay, let's do this.